Because chapter 3 is called the law of the mirror. The law of the mirror. The mirror means you got to look at yourself. Oh, Lord, I don't know if I like what I look like. And God, you know that scripture in the Bible that says, you know, when you look in the mirror, don't forget what you look like. Okay? Don't be the man that look in the mirror and walk away and forget what he look like. Because when God shows you, he wants you to do something about what he's showing you. Don't make an excuse for what you see. Just work on being better with what you see, okay? Because the first step is acknowledging that this is what I look like. Come on, y'all. This is what I look like. Are you for real? I'm reflecting 2020. I got to do something about that, right? You got to think, are there any aspects in 2020 that's reflecting right now that you don't like? That's a Selah moment. What is reflecting right now from 2020 that you don't like? Because if you don't like it, then deal with it, right? Let's be raw, real, and relevant. If we're really going to grow, we got to be able to look in the mirror and deal with what we don't like and do something about it. Amen. So this is all about the law of the mirror, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell, and I'm your presenter on tonight. Amen. Go ahead, I'll move on. I got so many notes. I hope I can get to this. It says, you must see yourself to add value to yourself. In other words, if you don't see what you look like, you can't add value to what you look like. Everybody understand that? Like if I see something I don't like from last year, but I don't recognize it, I can't build off of it. But if I recognize it as nothing, then there's nothing I can build from that. I got to be able to build from what I see. But if I act like I don't see it, no growth is going to come from it. No value is going to come from it. So God could take something that is crazy, ugly, and he could turn it into something beautiful and refined. But you got to act like you see what he's showing you, right? Okay? Because if you don't, you can't build value on what he shows you. Personal development is the belief that you are worth the effort, time, and energy needed to develop yourself. This is not about your spouse, okay? This is about you looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? I need to develop me because I keep talking about her, I keep talking about him and what they doing and not doing. No matter who it is, you got to look at you and say, I'm worth the change.
Come on, that's good.
I'm worth the change. I'm worth the change because I know that if I change the way I am, the bad habits, the negativity, the old ways, I'm going to attract next level, right? But I can't attract next level if I don't change my current level that is dirty. Come on, y'all. If my current level is not cute, is attitudinal, is prideful, is arrogant, is selfish, is all about me, and if I don't acknowledge it and say, you know what, I got to find a way to be better right here because I'm worth it.
Come on.
The person that I want to become is worth me going through this time of growth right here and right now. Point to yourself and say, I'm worth it.
I'm worth it.
I'm worth it. You that are watching me now, you got to say, I'm worth it. You got to believe that you're worth the next level. Because if you don't believe that you're worth the next level, you're going to stay on the current level that you're at. Because guess what? The current level is okay with you. And if the current level is okay, then the next level ain't worth it. Because you're content with current. Everybody understand that? You're comfortable with current, and the next level ain't even worth it. Because you're okay with current. Well, current, there's no growth in current because you're too comfortable. You cannot grow where comfortability is. I gotta pull, or God has gotta pull on you to make you uncomfortable, make you squirm. I got a testimony Sunday when I preached Sunday that somebody was squirming because they were getting uncomfortable by the message, but for a good reason, because it was pulling something out of them that would promote growth on the inside of them. This is what growth does. It makes you squirm a little bit. It makes you think about your self-righteous self. It makes you think about your current self. And you got to imagine what the new self is going to look like. Come on. You got to imagine. You with vision, you can accomplish anything. But without vision, you're going to perish in your comfortable lane. That's right. That's the word of God. Without vision, the people perish. So if you are not envisioning the next level, you're going to perish in the current you. That's good. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Let's go on to the next. All people have seeds of success within them. All they need to do is cultivate the seeds, water them, feed them, and they'll begin to grow. One of the main reasons why people fail to grow is because of low self-esteem. They don't see the possibilities that God has placed in them. Okay? All people have seeds of success. All of us. I don't care how bad you are right now. You got some success on the inside of you, but you need somebody to cultivate that. You need somebody to pull on that and make you not comfortable with being comfortable. Okay? You got to get uncomfortable, and you got to recognize where you have esteem issues, meaning that, you know what, you may be strong in this area. Like, let's say, for example, your thing is in sports, right? You're strong in sports, but you're poor in presenting and talking to people. Everybody get that? So you got to say, well, why am I poor here? Because there's some kind of insecurity in me that won't let me be great. So I got to figure out what that insecurity is and why it is, so that I can be great on purpose and with purpose. Why am I insecure in this area? Insecurity will come, when people start pulling on you, and then the anger comes or the attitude comes. Why? Because you touched a sore spot, and they're not secure enough to talk to you about that sore spot. So anger comes out, or frustration comes out, and they walk away because they don't want to deal with what you just touched. It's too sore. It's too tender. Why is it so sore and so tender? Because they're still insecure in that area. Look at Moses in Exodus 4, verses 10 through 12. It said, but Moses said to the Lord, oh, my Lord, I am not eloquent. There's low self-esteem. There's insecurity right there. Y'all see that? I'm not eloquent, either in the past or since you spoke it to your servant, like now, right now. I am slow of speech and of tongue. Then the Lord said to him, who has made man's mouth? Who makes him mute or deaf or seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what you shall speak. So when you're dealing with an insecure area, confess it to God and say, God, if somebody tries to touch this little area, I get a little, is that anybody? Like if somebody touch you or talk to you about this one thing or any little thing, it's like I don't know, you hitting the wrong spot, okay? You coming now, I'm telling you better bag back, because you touching something that I don't like talking about. Why? Because you're insecure. You have low self-esteem. You got issues in the tissue. You got junk in the trunk. Okay, let's be real. And you got to allow somebody to help you deal with the daddy issues, the mama issues, the relationship issues, the financial issues, whatever it is. You got to allow first God. Moses went to God. Around everybody else, he played it off. But when God challenged him, watch this, when God challenged Moses to be something that he didn't feel he could be, he gave God an excuse. And he said, you know what, God, I've been playing it off around everybody, but I guess I'll be real with you, okay? Everybody think I'm this kind of person. They see me, I got it all put together, my clothes on, my hair done, my nails done. But with you, I got to tell you, I'm not really secure in this area. This is what happened with Moses. He had to have a come to Jesus meeting with God, because God was like, you know what? I need you to lead. I need you to be better. I need you to be that husband, that father, that wife, that mother. I need you to be. And then here goes Moses. Well, I don't know about that, because I've been hurt. I've been rejected. I had a lot of things happen to me. I just don't know God. So first, Moses had to be real with God. He had to talk to God. See, right now, God right now is challenging each and every person in here. Even you that's watching me. God is challenging each and every one of us to grow and lead in an area that you were weak in. Think about it. It's a Selah moment. God is challenging you to step up. Just like he challenged Moses. Step up, Moses. Lead my people. He's saying to each and every one of you, step up, lead my people. But you're looking like, wow, God, I don't know if I really want to grow. I'm going to be with the church and I'm going to say it every time they say, our word for the year is what? Grow. Yes, then you go home and you stagnant. Everybody understand this? So Moses put on the show for everybody. But when Moses got home, Moses had changed. Moses had to talk to God about he ain't changed. And how he couldn't leave because guess what? He ain't changed. He said, I've been like this in the past. This is how I was in the past. And this is how I am right now. You've been doing something for so long that you caught up in how you've been doing it. And you don't even see that God is trying to bring correction. He's trying to say, no, I know you've been like that. That's the problem. Moses, that's the problem. You've been like that. So I need you to do something new, something different. So yeah, you're bringing up your past and your present because you the same from 10 years ago to the day. If you're the same as you were 10 years ago, we got some problems. You ain't had no growth. You ain't moved up the mountain, no. So there's some issues, all right? Find yourself in what I'm talking about. Next. Has your potential been squashed by someone or something? And usually when you feel like your potential, your next level is squashed, it's usually because of someone close to you. Okay, everybody get this? It's usually when you feel insecure, like you're not the man, like you're not the woman, the mother, the wife, the boss lady, the whatever it is, it's probably because somewhere down the line, somebody squashed your potential. They said something, they did something, and it just shattered you. It crushed you, and you've been trying to find your way up since all of that happened, right? And in the book, he talks about this woman named Johnetta. How can you relate to Johnetta? Well, who was Johnetta? Johnetta was a woman in the Bible who grew, not in the Bible, in the book who grew up impoverished. She was in the hood. She saw drugs. She was in a single parent home, which meant she had a broken family, right? That meant that she had mama and daddy issues. She was rejected. She suffered rejection on so many levels. She was abused physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, sexually. She was abused, and she woke up and she realized she wasn't happy. She realized that she had become the lifestyle that she exhibited when she was a young girl, that she had surrounded herself around the same kind of people. She was talking the same kind of language. She was doing the same old /same old, and she had children. And guess what? She had surrounded them with the same old that she had been surrounded with. And so she woke up one day and she said, you know what? I don't like this lifestyle. This ain't it. So she realized that if she continued accepting and giving excuses for everything, she wasn't going to like the place she ended up. She had to do something that maybe nobody in her family had done. She had to break away from mama. She had to break away from the daddy issues. She had to break away from the abuse she got from her uncle. She was sexually molested by several uncles and different things that happened. She was rejected. It was so much. She decided one day, she said, I get a chance to be anyone I want to be. I don't have to be that abused little girl. I don't have to be that rejected little girl. I'm going to choose this day to be the girl that breaks free from everything that I went through. Is that your testimony that, yeah, you went through this? You dealt with drugs. You dealt with alcohol. You dealt with molestation. You dealt with your daddy or your mama not doing right, cussing and carrying on. You dealt with all of that, right? But you don't have to be that. You don't have to become that, but you can choose to be somebody totally different.
That's right. Amen.
So you can't make excuses for why you got all these issues. Janetta realized that she was making excuses as to why she had all of these issues. Well, I was raped, I was molested, all I saw was drugs. My daddy wasn't there. Matter of fact, I don't even know who my daddy is. She decided to come out of the excuses. Stop making excuses as to why you can't grow.
Amen.
Think about it. Why you can't grow. I was trying to grow my business. Every time that I felt like my business wasn't going to work, God always provided a way for me to grow. But it was up to me to take the way or to take the excuse. Everybody understand that? It's up to you to take the way or to take the excuse, because the excuse will keep you right here, but taking the way may cause you to be stretched and cause your faith to be challenged and cause things to go a little haywire sometimes. But because you won't give up, you're not going to allow all of that to get you on a path of growth, because growth is going to cost you something. Growth is going to cost you something. But you got to choose. I'm going to be the person that growth is going to cost me to be. Next. Not only did she, and I love this in the book, not only did she study hard and stay focused, but she also sought out. You know what? What her norm was drug addicts, was girls that were promiscuous and having babies at early ages. That was her norm. She said, I'm going to break away from the norm. I'm going to hang out with the smartest person in each of my classes, and I'm going to ask them to study with me, because I need what's on the inside of them. Have you ever seen how God divinely connects you with people, and you look at them and say, man, I need what's on the inside of her. She got my next level, and I got to be around her. I got to be around him. I got to be in their presence. I got to sit at their feet. So she chose to sit at the feet of the smartest people in the room. That's one of the things that I'm doing to this day. I never put myself in a position to where I say, I've learned enough. I don't need nobody else coaching programs. I don't need nobody else this, nobody else that. I'm always trying to sit at the feet so somebody can pour into me. I never say I'm above. It's above me now. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even, you always got to humble yourself.
That's right.
And recognize the divine connections that God gives you. And Janetta did just that. She maintained the vision that she had for the future. Right? Watch this. I love this. She had done something that nobody in her family did. She went to college, right? But one of the things that I loved about Janetta is that she maintained the vision. What does that mean? She went to the bookstore on campus and she tried on a cap and gown, looking herself in the mirror and imagining what it would be like to graduate. Come on, somebody. So every semester, she hadn't graduated yet. She would go and get a cap and a gown, look at herself in the mirror as the woman that has grown to the next level of being called a graduate. I look myself in the mirror. I close my eyes. I look at my bank accounts and I envision money pouring into bank accounts. I envision vacations. I envision my children. I envision. How many times do you stand in the mirror and begin to envision the grown-up you? Come on, somebody. Because we are all at immature phases. Even when you achieve, watch this, even like when I preached Sunday on the road to Damascus and how Pastor D had made it to Damascus, right? He made it to Damascus. He reached that goal. But guess what happens when you get to Damascus? You start all over again.
Right.
And now it's another level of Damascus. Now it's another level of growth steps that you got to take. So every time you got to envision reaching Damascus. And then when you get to Damascus, now you get a new vision. Right? Because you just reached that level, so you ain't got to envision it no more. I done reached 6 figures, so guess what? Now I'm envisioning 7 figures. Yo, how do I get to 7 figures? So I'm going to take this step, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to invest in that, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And so you got to see the steps of what it's going to take like to get to your next Damascus. Everybody understand that? You got to maintain the vision. What does next level vision look like in your bank account? Can you close your eyes and see it? What does next level look like in your marriage? Can you close your eyes and see it? Or your future marriage? Because some of us are waiting, right? We're waiting. But while you're waiting, maintain the vision. Good. While you're waiting, maintain the vision. You got to keep the vision before your eyes. And when you get it, now that you're married, okay, talk about the steps that you're going to take to be the best wife that you could be, the best husband that you could be. Now envision what that looks like, because you got him now, okay? But how are you going to keep him? Or are you going to end up in divorce court like a good majority of the United States is? Think about it. What does getting to Damascus look like for you? Number one, these are some things that she did. She worked hard at being better. Like, you got to work hard every single day at being better. That's part of growth. She was focused and determined to have better. If you're not determined to get better, you ain't going to get better, okay? If you're not, it has to be so deep down inside of you. You got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Watch this. She hung around and got influence from and help from people smarter than her. You got to watch the people that you're hanging around. Are they where you want to go, or are they where you want to stay? Because if they're where you want to go, they're going to take you somewhere. If they're where you want to stay, then you're going to stay right there with them. Are you hanging around the right people? And she kept the vision before her. She saw it before she saw it. Can you see it before you see it? Y'all hear me say that all the time. See it before you see it. You got to see it in your mind so that you can hold it in your hands. See it in your mind so that you can hold it in your hand. If you can't see it in your mind, you can't hold it in your hand. Seeing it in your mind is called the vision. The vision creates manifestation. Without vision, you can't manifest. Next. Has your potential, okay, wait, this is not it. We got to go next. Forward. Keep going. Scripture references. 1 Corinthians, do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. Proverbs 13:20. Whoever walks with the wise become wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm. You're going to suffer if you keep hanging around the same people. That ain't me speaking doom and gloom. That's Bible. Okay? Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we're going to reap if we don't give up. So growth will make you not give up, but also growth can make you tired. But you got to make up in your mind that no matter how tired you get, you will not give up. Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. Make sure you got somebody sharpening you in this season. If you need sharpening when it comes to business, get you somebody that's going to sharpen you. When it comes to marriage, get you somebody that's going to sharpen you. When it comes to finances, whatever it is, get you somebody that's going to sharpen you. Hebrews 10:25, not neglecting to meet together. This is us fellas. This is Bible talking about don't you neglect the fellowship of the righteous. Not neglecting to meet together as is the habit of some. Watch this. Some will neglect to meet together. Some will forsake the fellowship of the righteous. He said, but encourage one another all the more as you see the day drawing near. So he's saying, don't neglect to get in fellowship with believers, that you have the same vision, that you can walk with them on one accord, and y'all can do what thus said the Lord. Next. Habakkuk 2:2, and the Lord answered me, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. This is all about vision. For still the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. See, this is the problem. A lot of people give up too soon because the vision takes forever. I tell this story all the time, you know, how me and my husband was trying to have babies. The vision was to have them. But God didn't tell me it was going to take 8 years to get to it. Right? So even in that prolonged situation, if you give up in the middle of it, you're going to miss it. Because you can get tired, you can get frustrated or aggravated, but that does not mean quit. That means that you're being stretched. Your faith is being tested. You're being pulled on to see if you can handle the weight. Proverbs 15:22, without counsel, plans fail. But with many advisors, they succeed. Who are you listening to? I'm going to ask you again. Who are you listening to? Who's in your ear? Because whether you will know it or not, whomever is in your ear, you have given them power over your life. Watch this. How have you given them some kind of power? Because they are making deposits into your soul. They're making deposits into your soul. And as they make deposits into your soul, either you're going to water those seeds that they're planting or you're going to pluck them up. You got to make sure you're attentive to your counsel. Who's counseling you? Who are you listening to? Because whomever you're listening to is connected to your next level.
That's good.
Next. Why are you motivated to grow? Let's take a Selah moment. I want somebody who's bold enough to come up here and tell us why have you taken the word growth, embraced it, and said, this is me, and I'm motivated to do it. Give us your why. Anybody? Nobody knew we were going to do this, but come on. We got all night now. You know it's an hour power. We got to get out of here. Why? What's your why? You shout out growth all the time when we say growth. Our word for the year. But what's your why? What's your why behind that? What's your why? Don't be scared. What's your why? If you're watching me live, type in the comments, what's your why? Why do you want to grow this year? Why? Thank you, Pat. Come on down. I got two. It's okay. Okay, Pastor, you go ahead and go first. And he coming behind you. It's right there. So I'll get into the mic because we're recording. So
my why.
Which one is that?
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
Why am I motivated to grow? It's because I've been stunned too long in my faith and stepping out on what God has given me to do. And saying the thing, walking by faith and not by sight, but still watching sight instead of walking by faith. So being studying, reading this book even more, even motivated me to, what is my why? Why am I saying walk by faith and I'm not? Walk by faith, I'm looking at what I see. So I said, oh, the man in the mirror. I'm saying these things, but am I really acting on these things?
Wow. She realizes that she's been stunned for too long. Stunned means stagnant, not doing what she knows that she's supposed to be doing. When you recognize and acknowledge that you've been stunned for too long, you have to do something about it. You have to. Leave yourself no other options. You got to do this. You know how you on the boat to the shore where you're growing. Your boat arrives to the shore. You get off the boat. Pastor Derek mentioned this one time. Now you got to burn the boat. Because if you don't burn it, and if things start going wrong on the island, you're going to try to get back on the boat and leave. But if you burn the boat, if you burn the ship, you have no other options but to go through the process of growth. Amen?
Amen.
Patrick.
So mine is realizing who I am, whom I belong to. And that'll be, I belong to God. He's my Father.
Amen.
And He wants me to grow in so many ways. And, until we leave this earth, we will constantly grow. So I'm making a commitment to grow, and I'm accepting my Father.
Amen. You're committed to the Father. Because God has expectations for us. And it's up to us to live out those expectations. God is not going to come down, grab you by the neck and say, did not tell you. He's not going to do that because he's a gentleman. He doesn't force growth. He allows you to grow. He'll never force it on you. We got one more? They see that you got. Go ahead.
Yes, for me, it's, just the word leader. Me, I call myself a leader. And when everyone used that word like this, I'm a leader. And, I was saying that, but I wasn't walking in that. And so being a leader, and that calls you to grow because my children watch everything I do. My wife is watching everything I do. My friends, my peers, the people I associate with. So if I'm a leader, I got to lead in such a way of change, of doing the right thing, watching what I say, watching how I dress, watching what I listen to. So the word leader, just me wanting to be the best leader I can possibly be, and being a competitor that I am, I'm going to walk in that.
Wow, that's good. Because it sounds to me like he's saying, I'm taking this title, leader, and I'm running with it. Because as a leader, there are certain things that you can and can't do, right? There are certain ways that you have to act. You have to watch your tongue. You got to watch the things that you say. You're wise because people are depending on you to lead. When you know that people are depending on your leadership, whether that's in your family, on your job, with your friends, if they're depending on you, that's a big why. Because what you do or don't do could make or break them. And we don't even recognize that. You can make or break your whole house because you refuse to lead. You refuse to grow. And when you refuse to grow, your house becomes stagnant. Wow. Amen. Give it up for everybody that volunteered. Amen. That was good. All right, next. Impact points on growth. If you don't realize that you have genuine value and that you are worth investing in, then you will never put in the time and effort needed to grow. You got to recognize that you are worthy of next level. You are worthy. Say, I am worthy of next level. Say it again. I am worthy of next level. You got to know that there is value on the inside of you. Or you will find yourself being very inconsistent of growth. 1 week, you're on the right path and you're focused. Then one little thing causes you to revert back to old ways. But watch this. If growth isn't consistent, it's a false sense of growth. I'm going to say that again. If growth isn't consistent, it's a false sense of growth. And it will never reach its full potential of maturity. That's a Selah moment. That's a mouthful. If growth isn't consistent, it's a false sense of growth, and it will never, somebody say never reach its full potential of maturity. You will never become that mature man nor woman if you are inconsistently growing. Okay? Next. Self-esteem is the single most significant key to a person's behavior. We're going to talk about all the ways that your self-esteem hinders your growth. Okay, we talk about low self-esteem, insecurities. These are all things connected to your self-esteem. If you're jealous or envious, pride, arrogance, boastful, you're very prideful. Nobody can tell you nothing. You don't receive nothing. Your way is the way and no other way. This goes back to your self-esteem. You're blame shifting. You love to blame other people. Or you don't even know you love it. You just do it because it's such a habit. Anger, malice, contention. That all has to do with your self-esteem. If you exhibit any of these, your self-esteem is low. Right? Now, when I say this now, I'm not talking about if you have a moment of anger. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about if you have a moment of something. I'm talking about if you're consistently this, you got self-esteem issues. Self-esteem issues will always hinder your growth. You will never be able to grow the way you need to grow if you're jealous, envious, prideful, arrogant, boastful, blame shifting, angry, malice, got contention, you're shy. Didn't know that was going to come. You're shy, you're quiet, and you're bashful. Why you will never be able to grow if you're shy? Shy will limit you from reaching who you need to reach, talking to who you need to talk to, being who you need to be. Why? Because you'll never say nothing. You like sitting in a corner. You like being in the dark. Well, how are you going to shine if you're shy? God said, let your light so shine so that what? Others may see your work. If you shy, you ain't let nobody see nothing. You've been rejected and you've not dealt with rejection very well, meaning that you've been hurt. Somebody hurt you some kind of way. It's dealing with your self-esteem. If your self-esteem is on the low, your growth is going to be on the low. Okay? I'm telling you. If you're impatient and you're short-tempered, you got low self-esteem. There is something on the inside of you that you've not dealt with. All of these things are contributors to low self-esteem, which also contribute to being stagnant and not growing. Okay? Now, this is not the end-all, be-all, because there are a lot of other things, but we ain't got that long to keep going through a list. So this is just giving you a few highlights. Next. Low self-esteem puts a ceiling on our potential. If your desire is a 10, you want to grow to a 10, and your self-esteem is a 5, you will never perform at the level of a 10. You'll always perform at a 5 or lower because of the ceiling that you placed on your potential. Y'all get that? If you want to be a 10, meaning you want to go, you want to make it, right? Top of the top, best of the best. You want to be the best you could be. But your self-esteem is a 5. You'll only be, the highest you could go is a 5. So you got to deal with that. That's in you. What did we just talk about? That contributes to low self-esteem. Anger, rejection, shy, which has to do with fear, all of that stuff. Your self-esteem, if that is on the low, you'll never be able to get to a 10. You'll only be able to get to a 5. If your self-esteem is a 3, the highest you can go is a what? 3. So you can say, I want to be a 10 all day long, but if you don't deal with this on the inside of you, you will not grow to be a 10. Ever. Ever. Somebody say ever?
Ever.
Ever, ever.
Ever.
Okay, next. The value we place on ourselves is usually the value others place on us. Oh my. If you put a small value on you, rest assured the world will not raise the price. Think about it like this. If you selling something for $50 and it should be $100, nobody's gonna walk up to you and say, "I'll give you $100 for it." They're not gonna raise the price on you. But if you from the jump say, it's $100, make it or break it. Like in my boutique, you gotta understand your value. My boutique, I know my ideal customer gotta spend at least $50 when they come in the boutique because we're not Walmart. I'm not trying to attract Walmart customers, okay? Go to Walmart. I'm not being funny. I just know the value of what I have in my store. And I'm not going to lower the price unless we got a clearance sale. So why would you do that to you?
That's right.
You lower your value and let people give you leftovers.
Oh man, that's good.
They give you what they want because you don't understand your worth. You don't understand your value. If you don't understand your value, the world is not going to raise the price on it. Proverbs 23:7, for as he thinks within himself, guess what? So is he. Next. I'm trying to run through. I got a couple minutes left and a whole bunch of notes. So I'm just going to try to run through this as quickly as I can in 2 minutes. Okay, my notes didn't went away. All right, have y'all got something so far though?
Yeah.
So, talking about our values, our low self-esteem, our issues, why are we motivated to grow? Try to give y'all some quick little nuggets that y'all may have to just jot these down for yourself. Steps to build your self-image. If you know, we just talked about that. Nobody's going to give you more. You got to do, there are things that you got to do. Guard your self-talk is number one. Guard the way you talk to yourself and how you talk to yourself. Because positive self-talk creates a positive image. Negative self-talk undermines your self-worth. So you have to learn to become your own cheerleader. Everybody understand that? Yeah. You got to cheer your own self on. Number two, you got to stop comparing yourself to other people. Okay? Either you look at them as far ahead or you're not good enough. And that's coveting. God said in Exodus 20:17, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You can't compare yourself to what somebody else has. Number three, you got to move beyond your limiting beliefs. It says when a person puts a limit on what he will do, he puts a limit on what he can do. You got to add value to others. You got to do the right thing even when it's a hard thing. It may be hard being a spouse, being somebody's spouse, but you got to do the right thing when it comes to being a spouse, when it comes to being a mother, a father, when it comes to being a CEO. Do the right thing even if it's a hard thing. Practice a small discipline daily in a specific area of your life. If you need to be disciplined in an area, meaning with your attitude or the way you get up and how you get up and how you respond, practice that small discipline so you can be better. And then when you win, celebrate your small victories. Like I reward myself when I win, when I do things, when I achieve a goal. Everybody listen, you got to reward yourself when you do something right? So find a way to reward yourself. I ain't saying go buy a car and a house or nothing big. Do something small to say, you know what, I'm going to reward myself because I did. Phenomenal. I passed the test. Everybody understand? Passing a test in life, give yourself a reward. Amen. Embrace a positive vision for your life based on what you value. Practice the one-word strategy. Like we got one word for the year, grow. What is one positive word that you could say about yourself? I want you to write it down on your paper. What is that one word that you could say about yourself and build off of it? And the last one, take responsibility for your life. If you suck at something, take responsibility. Say, I suck. We tend to get in life what it is that we tolerate. You have to get in control of your life and make the necessary positive changes. If you don't have a plan or a purpose for your life, then you will become part of the plan and purpose of somebody else's life. I'll say that again. If you don't have a plan and purpose, get your self-esteem issues right, get it all the way together, then you will become the plan and purpose of somebody else's life. Because you don't have no idea where you're going and what you're doing. Did y'all receive that on tonight?
Yes.
Amen.